not that heavy a occasion. Come on. Lou asked me to speak tonight, which was a bit daunting. And for those who don't know me, I'm Julian, Jules. And earlier this year, it occurred to me that we're getting past our 21st and our 30ths and our wild 40ths and our boring 50ths. I guess we've got to start preparing for our next stages of life. You know, and part of that next stage of life, we've got to really face it as we're here tonight to. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's not really that well organised. I'm saddened. But Reid started diving with sharks recently. He went over to South Australia and then that didn't float his boat, so he decided 2 days after a bloke got attacked in near Shooting Island to go chasing scallops down there. So I figured to myself, it's very appropriate we should probably start talking about eulogies. And I realised that we only really get to tell our really good mates how much we love them after we. I'm only a carpenter. Yeah, only a carpenter. So he started chasing the sharks. No, because we don't need to blame anyone else when we fuck it. I decided to do a eulogy for my mate, and I realised that down the track I'll be able to pull it out of the bottom drawer and use it down the track. Here we go.
Settle girls, it was a long time ago.
So I figured
Don't know where he's dragged that one out. Oh, look at them, they're coming flocking, aren't they? Over here, girls, over here.
Anyway, so I guess if I get Alzheimer's down the track, I'll be able to do this one and make it a lot easier on me. So that's probably how Reid will go. So Reid was born on the 5th of July 1971 to Brian and Celia Hooker. Brother to Nadine and Joe. And even from quite a young age, he was working on his tan. There's Nadine, there's Reid, just giving us, what the fuck are you looking at? I haven't got my suntan yet. He was pretty much a normal kid. And I was playing a lot of football. You can see him up in the top right-hand corner. And he really enjoyed playing with his brother Joe. And together, I think they mentioned earlier, they won a few trophies. And along the way, I think he realised that football wasn't only the place that he would be successful at. And he realised that modelling was...
4 days later, 20%.
And didn't he make a goal?
Have you got a calendar, Reid?
Yeah. Funnily enough, I have.
And then at his peak, he met his true love, Belinda Whelan, the daughter of a beautiful, generous, caring Turkish lady.
She's over here.
And the craziest motherfucker. And together they created their own family.
Julian!
You can go back with
Who would have thought she'd get with a model, eh?
Together they created their beautiful family. There's Campbell, followed by Riley. What's the next one? And then
That's the girl.
and what a great dad he is. You know, and it's been mentioned tonight. He's a great dad. You know, I've stepping away from the speech. I've admired him through our years together of how good a dad he's always been. He's always been there for his family and he's always been there as a coach for his kids. Spending a lot of time mentoring not only his kids but other kids around him, and that's a real character of a man when he not only shows for his own family, but I've seen him extend that to other kids in his life or his kids' life. So, but he loves his family, and particularly he loves his dad. I don't know. But also Colin. I don't know if you know what's going on here. That's a weekend away, and for some reason Reid has convinced him to put stockings on. It's Colin Adams here.
Yeah.
That's Colin Adams.
Yeah.
But young Reid, I should say young Reid, was always ready. Sorry, was always at the ready for something to do. He's always an active character, you know. He loves a bit of shenanigans. But when Reid was in form, there's certainly no shame, is there? No one safe around him. No. Whether or not you're a lawyer, surgeon, chemist, someone with Down syndrome, there was no boundaries. And you know, young Reid is a pretty smart bloke, you know. And a lot of people that's probably spoken with, it talks about smart dumb and dumb smart. Getting off script for a second, the photo in the middle, I feel like I'm Johnny Farnham now, just getting up there. This photo up here, Tony Cooper, put your hand up. Tony, Reid and I were at the back of the house. Tony's rental property had just been trashed by some renters, and part of their leaving, they didn't take everything because they left a stash of marijuana down underneath. Now, the ladies, Rada, Lil, you guys were in painting in the other room, and we worked out that the breeze was floating through the house. So Reid has lit up this can of marijuana. Next thing you hear this, Tony, smells like, what's that smell? Next door neighbour, I reckon they must be smoking some joints or something. So Reid created a Dutch oven. Us as well, doing our thing. We're outside, by the way, we don't partake in that thing. But Reid, going back to his shenanigans, yeah, he's always up for a bit of fun. Reid's a great captain of a boat, well, mostly his own boat, because sometimes he crashes Colin's boat. But one time we're heading out of Bicheno, and we're going for a dive. It was a little bit choppy, and we hear that Reid drops Roger Buterak. So Roger Buterak, is he here tonight?
Yes, he is.
Who's Roger? Oh, Roger's got a hand up in the back. He's wearing the leather jacket and the grey hair. And we hear that Reid might have ran over Roger with the boat. And we thought, that's probably. And then we find out that we have a look at Roger. Roger turns around. He shows us where the prop. It's all this way. The prop has cut his wetsuit and cut his skin. That's about all I can say about it. I don't have a photo of that. I do have a photo, but I just couldn't find it. And what about the time that Campbell was just up to Bob Reid's Land Cruiser?
Hey Johnny, that's your Land Cruiser.
Up to the axles while pulling the boat into Falmouth. And as the tides were coming in, we were a bit worried. You know, the locals come around, they saw this poor bastard in the car. And then one guy goes, I'll go get my bobcat. That was his bobcat. We're all standing over, hear this. Next thing comes over the horizon, and that pulled it out. Anyway, we were excited about that, and we head back home. We're at Falmouth, it's a little bit of a drive back to Coles Bay. And next thing you know, we called in Bicheno, had a bite to eat, headed off early, and then they took off, we finished our pies. Next thing you know, I get this phone call in the car. Jules, where are you? I was about to have to turn off on the Coles Bay Road, what's going on? Are you really that far behind? Yeah. Where are you? I'm on the block. I've bobbed the car again. Really? Yeah. You're not going to believe it, but I thought I'd put the car in the fresh water of the bed.
I wanted to wash the salt water out.
Johnny, again, that's your car.
And leaving script again, another thing that happened recently was, and Colin mentioned it earlier about the Tas Network guys. Reid is a very excitable guy, isn't he? He's always excited. You know, it doesn't take much to get him excited. Anyway, I was cutting down a 40-metre high tree. Big tree, and it might be 100 metres tall. Anyway, I could hear it starting to crack. We've got a rope tethered up, probably 10 metres at the bottom of it. And all of a sudden, I could hear it cracking. And give it to a Reid, just take it, and you can hear this, whoa. He's pulled the tree off the stump, and it fell backwards. And knocked out 1,175 houses in Sandy Bay and True. And Reid goes, we'll call it stealing. So next thing you know, we're giving 166 scallops for the repair of the power lines. And then I remembered that you did this up at Coles Bay. Didn't you knock down your house at Coles Bay? You got some power out there. You got whole steel. You got it reconnected up there.
Yes.
Anyway, didn't he love a bet?
Yes.
Oh, Reid. He lost a few bets to Colin Adams. And he was in a game at Coles Bay, and he said, if I lose this game, I'll do a nudie run around. And by the way, that's not one of my, I'm not there, but I know the guy's away. Everyone's very quiet now. How far can you go with this? Anyway, he's had a few losses of bets. I'll move on to them very quickly. But one of my favourite bets was when he lost a bet to Jason Roth. We're out for tea. The boys were out for tea one night, and Jason said, if I eat chili, I reckon I can fill a spoonful of sweat on a teaspoon. And Reid said, nah, I can't do that. I won't do that. And Jason said, well, go on. Reid said, I bet you if you can fill a teaspoon of sweat in that spoon, I will drink it. If I don't, I will do a nudie run. No. I will do a whippersnip of the grass on the eastern shore of the Tasman Bridge in a mankini. There's a bit of dribble sweat. And so the bet was on. And in the end, Reid was cautioned. So Jason filled the spoon. Reid was cautioned about not drinking that sweat because of the toxins that go into the body and comes out of the body and should drink, and he chose not to. And so our old mate Jason passed away 4 years ago, but just before he passed away, good old mate, he's got there and he's... But I provided a very simple speech around some great times with a great fella, and I know that he...
4th of July, it's the 5th.
Yeah, I didn't think anyone would pick up on that. I just thought
Just don't get hung up on details.
it's all about, yeah. But I've enjoyed my time with Reid and his family. I've watched the boys grow, and I've watched all the things that they've done, and they've grown into wonderful young men, and growing into young wonderful men. And yeah, I'd like to propose a toast to not only Reid for his 50th, but also to the family. What do you got with Reid? And us all. So I'd like to congratulate Reid for finishing his first half of his life and celebrating the next stage of his life. Here's to Reid.
I just don't think